Okay, willkommen to the next episode 3 of the London Weightlifting podcast. Today we have Dan, the physio, now the physio-in-residence at London Weightlifting.
Yeah.
Very exciting. We were just listening to our sound check off camera, and I was saying how I'm now really self-conscious about elements of my voice. I've now decided that I've got a lisp. And now whenever I speak to anyone, since starting to listen back to the podcast, all I can hear is my own voice. Yeah, and I was pretty just generally uncomfortable before we started doing the podcast, and now all I can hear is my own voice. Which leads me to topic number 1, which is, of course, baldness.
Okay.
Something that we have in common.
Baldness.
Yeah.
Bald, as in...
No, as in neither of us have any hair.
Yes. Well, that's
How
why
do you
hired
feel
me,
about that? I thought, yeah.
Yeah,
a man
that's why I picked to work for you as well.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're
I knew
both
it would work.
comfortable being bald.
I'm actually only recently bald.
That's okay. This is what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
This is what the whole podcast is going to be about.
Right.
Yeah. So tell me about your bald journey.
I suppose I have to put it down to my brother, really. I thought I just had a high hairline. And I was pretty confident, this is just my hairline. Like, this is just the way my head is. And my brother said to me, no, you didn't look like that last year. And I said, I did. And then he showed me some pictures, and yeah, my hairline was going back. I was actually meant to get a transplant done.
Really?
I was booked in. I had got a consultation and everything.
Yep.
But I always said, look, you need to shave it off and see what it looks like before you get anything done like that. And I did shave it off, and I went to work the next day, and I got made fun of, but in a good way, kind of a funny way. And I liked it for training because I sweat a lot. Like, it's a bit... I know I'm welcome to train at the gym on days I'm working, but I would warn you, I do sweat a lot.
That's okay. I'm into it. On days you're not working as well. How old are you?
26.
26. And when
26.
did you... So you shaved the head very recently?
Shaved the head maybe 6 months ago.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, but I would never go back.
New to the game.
I love it, yeah.
I was very different. I started losing my hair when I was like 15.
Wow, okay.
As soon as I hit puberty, it started going.
Yeah, that's
So I actually didn't spend that much of my life with hair.
Yeah.
It was extremely disappointing. So yeah, about 14, 15 started to lose my hair.
It happens though.
Yeah.
It does happen.
I remember being in a class and the teacher being like, oh, you know you can get pills for that.
That's a
and I
terrible
was
teacher.
like, why would I need such a thing?
Yeah.
I'm only a child. He was right. Mr. Coventry, shout out to. But it took me quite a long time to accept the baldness because I was so young. You can't shave. You can't be a skinhead 14-year-old. So it took me a while. So during my teenage years, it was quite a serious inconvenience to me. But then once I shaved my head, same as you, I was like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Very slippery now.
Yeah. Slide in.
Yeah, slide in anywhere. But there is quite a lot of upkeep, obviously.
There is more than people don't think
Yeah.
it's made. I just got mine done for this.
People look at a man with no hair and they think, wow, there's no luckier man in the world. But actually, there's quite a lot of upkeep involved. I shave my head daily.
Yeah, I can tell.
I brush my teeth every day as well.
Yeah, it's a full regime. It takes 2 hours.
Yeah, but I also looked at getting a hair transplant ages ago. I think
Yeah.
I did like the telephone consultation, sent pictures of my head, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, you need full whack.
Yeah.
Every follicle you've got.
Yes.
And I decided not to do it. It was just too expensive.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just shave my head. I would now consider doing it, but mostly to not have to shave my head every day.
Oh, okay.
That would be the main
thing. It's
thing.
that much of a hassle for you.
It's a pain in the ass. And now I'm married. I don't really need to have hair.
No.
Like I've been letting myself go a little bit over the last couple of years, but I can fully let myself go now.
Yeah.
So I don't really see the point of getting a hair transplant now I'm married.
The reason why I didn't get one in the end was because I found out really that it's not just a once-off thing. You'll have to get it done again because areas that maybe hadn't received donor parts, they'll begin to lose your hair. So they kind of lock you into a bit of a money cycle. And if you can have the confidence and the boldness to go bald, you probably should embrace it, really.
I agree. Yeah, you just need to get yourself a good electric shaver, I would recommend. I used to do a wetty every day.
Okay, what's that?
That's a wet shave.
A wet shave, that would take time.
And
A
then
wetty.
when I first started dating Lucy, I would just do a wetty on like dates, and then a buzz I would call it on the other days.
Yeah.
And now no wetties.
No wetties.
Don't bother.
Right.
Yeah, just on the electric shaver. But yeah,
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend a shaved head. Very nice. But yeah, that is obviously the main reason why we're working together
Exactly. Yeah.
is having that in
Bald
common.
men unite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, bald men support bald men.
Well, I've watched when I was struggling with it for a couple of weeks, I watched every video on YouTube on the best razors, confidence around it, dating around being bald, being young and bald. I think it's the Bald Cafe. He's a guy on YouTube,
Okay.
and it did help for 6 weeks. But once you get used to it, you're
Well,
fine.
I did Propecia for a bit.
Yeah.
I think I just started too late. And I've done that thing, the roller, where you kind of roll.
The derma roller.
The derma roller.
Yeah.
I did that. Caffeine shampoo.
Yeah. There's so many products out there.
Yeah, and as you might be able to tell, none of them worked. So yeah, okay, next question.
Yeah.
Pretty obvious what my next question is going to be. Would you rather have free will or always be happy?
Ooh. That's a very deep question to go on from after being bald. Free will, I think.
Yeah, I think I'd go for free will as well. Do you think free will exists?
That's an even bigger question. Unfortunately, I don't think so. I think it's probably a figment of our imagination, really.
Yeah, even if that's true, I choose to not believe it just because I think it would be so boring.
Yeah.
I have a friend who really doesn't believe free will exists. Maybe he'll be listening to this actually. And yeah, it gets quite tough if you're like, well, even if you're right.
Yeah.
I just don't want to behave that way.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, very nice. So you were born in Ealing.
I was born in
I'm
Ealing.
guessing raised in the Emerald Isle.
Yes. Well, spent 8 years here, so I had a real posh London accent. My family back home in Ireland used to tell me. Both my parents are Irish and met over here, like a lot of Irish did. We moved back home and my accent quickly converted. I don't know, was it because of just that's how accents work or because of the bullying I would have received. Sometimes the British accent back home in Ireland isn't always welcomed in certain parts.
I can imagine that.
But yeah, that's a history lesson. But yeah, no one would believe I was born in Ealing nowadays. So
No.
I don't tell too many people, really.
I think much better to have an Irish accent over here than a boring British accent.
Yeah.
I think you've definitely chosen the right one.
Apparently it goes down well, but yeah, I'm yet to find out.
So, how did you become a physio?
How did I become a physio? I was always sporty. I always just loved sports when I was younger, and I quickly found out that I wasn't the most talented athlete, but I really liked training and getting better and getting stronger. So naturally aches and pains came from that. And from the age of 14 or 15, I remember having anatomy posters in my room and circling areas where, circling areas of the body where...
Cameron had similar posters in his room, I think.
No, not at all.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good. What type of anatomy posters are we...
Oh, yeah, I was thinking different.
Oh, okay, yeah. There was anatomy involved, but... Yeah, so I was always really interested in, recovery, anatomy, things like that. And then I was a terrible student. All I did was play sports when I was in secondary school, and I did really poor on my exams. But then I kind of did entry level courses and weekend courses, and eventually got enough grades together to go study in the Netherlands.
Oh, cool.
So I studied 2 hours north of Amsterdam in a place called Groningen, but they pronounce it Groningen. So it's
Very
a bit
nice.
it's not the Dutch language is interesting. But I was there for 3 years. Lived in Malta for 9 months. Doing my thesis and doing internships and stuff, and that's where I found CrossFit, which has kind of led to a bit of weightlifting.
What was the sport growing up when you were a teenager?
It was football when I was living in London and when I went to Ireland, and then I quickly kind of got taller and a bit bigger, and
Must be nice.
yeah, it was. But that's when my hair started to go as well. But I started playing Gaelic football, which is like a combination of rugby, basketball, and football.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do these things where we make up our own sports in Ireland. But that's a great game, and I still love it. I still like follow everything about it. But that was more aligned with my attributes. But there was lots of weightlifting to train for that sport. You have to be big and strong and powerful. So yeah, that's kind of how I found physio, really. Just always being involved in sports, always trying to get better, and then yeah, I wanted to help other people do the same.
Did you have any bad injuries when you were younger that kind of led you into treating, or?
I had a very bad ankle injury when I was playing football in Ireland, and I still struggle with it to this day, but I just work on it daily, really. It really limits my ankle mobility, which is really important, like for snatching and stuff. So yeah, you'll see my heel lifting off frequently. But I got a lot of concussions. I remember one year I got 3 concussions in a row. 2 of them were quite close together, and yeah, that was intense because sometimes I remember getting sick after them.
I got concussed once. It's like one of my most vivid memories. That obviously the actual period where you're concussed, not so much. But it was so strange. I think I was probably 10. I was playing. I was scrum half, and I basically ran back to cover the fullback who was out of position. Dived on the ball, and some people jumped to me, and my head just went whack, whack, whack into the floor. And I played the rest of the game, but it just felt like I was in a dream.
No one saw the
and I had
concussion.
no idea.
That's really dangerous.
And then going back on the bus, I was just like, I feel so weird. But I was obviously a child. I had no idea what a concussion was. And my aunt was living with us at the time. And she now feels really bad about this because I got home and I was like, oh, I feel really weird. I was throw up everywhere and then lie down on the sofa. And my aunt calls the hospital like, what do I do? I'm pretty sure my nephew's concussed. And they're like, just don't let him fall asleep. And I'm asleep on the sofa. I remember it really well. It was, and then all that happened like back in those days. They were like, oh, just don't play the next game. It was 2 days later, and then I was just back in.
Jesus, yeah, it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
There's a real protocol now, especially in rugby. And at that age, you would have got like an MRI and everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe that's why I've got such like weird personality defects.
It could be, yeah. I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, physios do work a lot with concussion now. So
Really?
They do.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, big time now. Obviously, a lot of like pitch side physiotherapists are kind of, you could say, pitch side medics.
Yeah.
And concussion is a big part of that. So, you know, identifying concussions, the quick and early actions that you need to do. Because like in rugby, there are some serious head injuries, you know. But yeah, training your neck is really important.
Yes, I've seen. Yeah, neck training looks so strange. I was actually watching something on YouTube.
It's very odd.
I think recently some rugby players doing banded neck training.
Yeah,
which is super intense. I do think a thick neck looks cool, though.
Like an F1 Formula 1 driver's neck. Yeah. It's like big arms, but for your neck sleeve.
Exactly. What do you think? If you were going to prescribe one exercise to a weightlifter as an injury preventative, what are you giving them?
Ooh, that's a good question. From what I can see so far in the clinic, there's people that came in with hip issues. So we had that 15-minute consultation the last day, hip issues. I think mobility is great. I think it's a little bit overrated. I think some people think all you need to do is mobility. But a lot of people that do weightlifting have an internal rotation deficit of the hip. So I would get people to look into that. So some internal rotation mobility stuff. And if that was okay, single leg step ups on a box for their hip.
Nice.
Yeah, so getting really strong, kind of driving out of the hole, you could say, but single leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so far what I can see from our gang over in the gym.
Yeah. I think, I've had elbow issues for a really long time.
Yeah.
I would really like to have my elbows fixed. That's basically what I'm doing at the moment, is adding to the gym the reformer, and then you guys and like the physio, the soft tissue. So
what you need
is just to fix myself.
Yeah.
I actually had something called fenestration done. I
You
told
were
you about it
saying that,
a few weeks ago. I have found since I got married, my elbows suddenly started to feel quite a lot better.
Interesting.
So it's either we got married in a church, so I'm wondering whether
Yeah.
the blessings and the kind of Jesus being involved might have lessened the injury, or it has also been 6 weeks, I think, roughly since the fenestration, and he said it would be around that time frame. I've also been doing like rehab exercises,
Yeah.
so something there.
I'm still leaning towards the marriage.
Jesus.
I would
Yeah.
say Jesus.
Obviously lost my
Amen, you know,
lost
so.
my virginity as well, so it could be that.
It could be that. That does help, I think.
Yeah.
I don't provide anything like that.
Oh, I need to change the website. Fenestration, for you folks at home, I'll probably get this wrong, but basically I had loads and loads of needles pumped into my tendon to try and take it from a chronic injury back into an acute one.
Yes, yeah.
To try and heal it, because it's been over a year of just a shitty elbow basically. So we need to fix that. I'm gagging to do some weightlifting.
Yeah.
But I'll try and slow myself down a bit now, because it's usually when it just starts to feel good enough to hold things, that's when I destroy it again.
Yes, yeah. It's about playing with that line. What's enough, what's too much, you know. Yeah, medial, because the upper limb is really my interest, the wrist, the elbow and the shoulder. And the medial elbow, because of the positions we get into a lot in cleans, the press out and the snatch. Yeah, it can kind of get a bit annoyed, that elbow. Yeah, I have elbow issues myself, but when I warm my elbows up, it seems to be all right. But yours sounds a bit more on the chronic side.
Yeah, it came on. I started with a new coach maybe a year and a half ago. Basically, it didn't stick with, but there was an absolute ton of paused front rack work. And I remember looking at the program and thinking this was a bit strange, because the first 3 days of the week were all really, really front rack intensive.
Okay.
But it'd be like cleans with really long pause in the hole, really long pause front squats, pause jerks, all day after day. And there was loads of pulling accessories, but no pushing. And I remember thinking, this is strange, but I'm up for it.
Yeah.
And the elbow started to get weird. And then I did that one event at the Turf Games I told you about. It was basically a sled push-pull.
Yeah.
And then something just died in my elbow then.
Yeah.
And it's never been the same. What would be your favourite injury to treat?
The shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
The shoulder, but one of the more complicated, I would say. Some clinicians love the shoulder, some don't. The shoulder, yeah, well, I'm kind of geeking out now, but the shoulder is an amazing joint in the sense that it's built to do so much, but it's not an incredibly deep joint like the hip. So instability, if you have a trauma to the shoulder and you develop instability of the shoulder, you can be managing it for the rest of your life, really, if you want to continue doing weightlifting, rugby, whatever it may be. So yeah, it's not something that you can quickly fix, but yeah, it's incredibly interesting to work with patients who have that injury, shoulder instability.
Yeah. And least favourite injury to treat?
Least favourite injury to treat, I would say the guy or girl that comes in is just like, it sounds like I'm being a bit rude now, but maybe, that maybe doesn't have an injury as such. I just kind of want to feel a little bit better or a little bit stronger, and of course I can help them, but it's when someone has a clear goal, a clear injury, you know exactly what to help them with. Then when it's a little bit vague, I think you don't know what direction to go with them. You know, so I would say if a patient comes in and they're quite clear on what they want, that's ideal.
Yeah.
And if they're the opposite, then yeah, if there's not a genuine request for help, we say, you know.
What's the perfect patient look like then? Because I'm guessing it might be someone who's quite patient. If I mean, if I'm probably the worst patient.
Likewise.
I hate doing rehab work. I find it too boring.
Yeah.
I need to train in a group all the time, otherwise I get sad.
Yeah.
I'm very bad at limiting any type of intensity. I just want to go big all the time.
Right.
Not very good at sticking to something for prolonged periods of time.
Yeah.
I'm guessing these are all bad.
These are all terrible traits. Yeah.
Yeah. So if someone like with my injury, let's say, like chronic medial elbow thing. What type of recovery time frame am I looking at?
Yeah.
What type of activity would you try and make me do?
Yes.
Trying to think if someone's going to come in, book in and see you over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
How do they make you like them?
Yeah. Yeah. So the first thing you mentioned there is patience. That's definitely the main thing. If you're willing to understand that it's going to take time and there's going to be ups and downs along the journey, but as long as we're on an incline, that we're getting better over an extended period of time. If a patient can come in and not expect quick fixes, like there 100% is a place for manual therapy in rehabilitation, but very, very rarely is there like a click or a trigger point or whatever you want to call them, and it fixes everything. It's really
It's terrible news.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being honest. That's terrible news to 99% of patients. It's a patient who is going to follow the program. If they can hand over trust to the physio or trust to the therapist, because I think nowadays a lot, and me myself included, there's so much information online that you can kind of feel like, I can change the program slightly, or I'll just go back a bit quicker, or I'll add an extra 10 kilos because I feel pretty good today. And of course you do have free will, but if you can stick to the plan that you and your coach or your physio have put together, that's really helpful. Regarding timelines, that's another interesting thing. I don't like to put timelines on injuries, because it's all dependent upon the plan that's put in place, if the patient sticks to the plan, and how well they've done. So unfortunately, it's not like there's a textbook with injuries that says, oh, this injury takes 9 months, this injury takes 6 weeks. There's so many variables. And a therapist that tells you, oh, this will take exactly 6 weeks, is probably pulling that out of thin air.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame. Yeah. Weightlifting stuff. So,
Yeah.
I know you train CrossFit weightlifting.
Yeah, yes.
Where's your kind of training focus at the moment? I know you did strength and depth.
I did strength and depth. Yeah. So, where my focus at the moment is, I'm a kind of a bigger and heavier athlete. So, gymnastics, high volume gymnastics is something that I always struggle with. But in terms of what I'm quite good at would be erg work and a lot of like power movements. So I'm quite good at like power cleans, power snatches. My depth isn't the best when I have to go into like squat snatches and squat cleans. Like I recently power snatched 100.
Nice.
But my squat snatch is 90.
Yes.
So that's a typical CrossFitter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. You just get it up.
Yeah, exactly. Right, as long as you stand it up.
What about power clean to clean?
Yeah, that's a little bit better, I think. I think my power clean is 130.
Nice.
My clean is 120.
Okay.
So it's similar again to my snatch, and that's why
percentage-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll get those numbers.
Exactly. Well, that's why I was following London Weightlifting to get this imbalance sorted out, and with my coach in Manchester. But and then obviously I saw there was an opportunity to come in and be a physio, so 2 for 1 really.
Yeah, exactly.
It was brilliant.
How long have you been doing CrossFit?
I started in Malta, so it's been around 2.5 years now, so not that long really. But I think I had a good base from Gaelic football. I had a good strength and conditioning base, so I think I quickly took to the barbell stuff and the erg stuff. The gymnastics has taken much longer, but yeah, it's not been too long, but I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. And your dad trained with Clarence Kennedy, right? Back in Ireland. That's the claim to fame, really. Yeah. Clarence trains out of a place called Tralee in a Gaelic football club, and my dad was kind of back home for a little bit and was in the same gym as him. That was my dad's home gym, and Clarence was in the corner, like squats, snatching and cleaning outrageous numbers. And my dad's a pretty strong guy himself, so they got to know each other a little bit. I'm not too sure if Clarence is still in Ireland. No, he's not. I think he lives in Nottingham now.
Does he?
Something like that.
Yeah. My dad says that he's a very shy guy, for an incredibly strong and cool athlete. He's a very kind of stoic character.
Yeah, very quiet. He's come to the gym a few times.
Nice.
Doesn't really like having his picture taken, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I actually felt quite bad. I think it was literally one of the first days I owned the gym, and Clarence came down with Matt the Paddy, I think, and I quite badly injured himself doing a clean.
Ooh.
Like one of my first days, I was like, I've hurt the main man.
Yeah.
Which was a shame. He didn't blame it on me.
Did he not?
Obviously. No. But yeah, no. Occasionally he comes down. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Really cool to watch him lift. So, try and think of some weightlifting-y related questions.
Yes.
Favorite lift?
Oh, I think the snatch is just... I think I saw it described online. It's like heavy metal and classical music put together.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have such beautiful timing and skill set to execute it, but you also have to have the strength in all these positions. So I think if you have too much of one side of it, you know, you won't be a good weightlifter. But yeah, I think the snatch is just so sexy.
Nice. Yeah. Least favorite?
Any sort of pause work.
Yes.
I just can't, and I just like, why can we not just practice the snatch and the clean and jerk over and over and just
I
get
quite
better at
like a pause snatch, for example.
Okay, yeah.
But pause squat,
Yeah, yes.
get fucked.
Yeah.
It's so much harder.
Yes, yeah.
Also makes me go into my full depth as well.
Yeah.
So I don't have time for that.
No bounce, no stretch reflex.
Yeah.
You just have to generate all the force yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like to just crash into squats
Yeah.
as well.
Have you ever passed out or felt the room closing in?
Oh, I used to get that all the time.
Did you?
Yeah. I had a nose operation that I think really cleared the airways.
Okay, cool.
It's actually, that's come up twice in these podcasts now.
Has it?
Yeah.
Have you had a broken nose before?
Yes, very
Yes,
badly
same.
broken, yeah. And then I
Yeah.
got it fixed, and then I stopped passing out all the time.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
so it must have been a pretty bad break if you
Yeah, I
weren't
think-
getting any air.
I think it was bad.
Yeah, I broke my nose. I don't know if you can tell, but it was a small break. I never got it fixed.
I think it just creates so much pressure through your head if you don't have that extra path for
yes,
air.
Yeah.
Which obviously is suboptimal.
Yeah, well, your brain probably wasn't getting. It's when you're bracing, it's not getting a whole lot of oxygen, anyways.
Yeah.
But you probably were giving it less, even with
Yeah.
that blockage.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, no, it's a bit like not that I've ever done it, but like a NOS balloon type.
Yeah,
effect
yeah.
When you, it's quite nice in a way when you get. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not supposed to just do it over and
Yeah,
over again.
we don't really have that so much in Ireland. I haven't lived home in Ireland for a long time. But
NOS balloons.
yeah,
Laughing gas.
Yeah, laughing gas. It was in the Netherlands when I was
Mhm.
there, and I only did it once or twice. But I heard there's some research on it that it can cause clots in the brain.
Yeah, definitely
yes.
not supposed to be good for you.
No, I wouldn't recommend it.
When I first started doing laughing gas when I was a younger man in my teens, it would make you laugh.
Yeah,
But then, as you kind of became more of a seasoned veteran of the
Tolerance
balloon
to
game,
yeah.
I'd enjoy the effects. Don't get me
Mm.
wrong, but I wouldn't laugh.
Okay,
It
you were
was-
more serious.
Yeah. And I just wonder what's the deal with that?
Yeah, it must just be like a tolerance thing. The body begins to kind of acclimatize to the amount of.
I'm not saying I enjoyed it any less.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I didn't laugh.
Yeah, maybe a bit. There was a bit in you that knew this isn't that funny.
Maybe,
this isn't
yeah.
that good
yeah.
for me.
No, it just grew up a little bit.
Yeah, but like walking through parks and stuff here, I've seen like cans of it
Yeah.
maybe left from the night before and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's legal.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
doubt it. I
It's
think
the
it might be
grey
one of those
area.
because it's the stuff you use has other uses.
Okay.
So I'm sure those canisters can be used for like soda streams, like
yeah.
some shit like that.
Yes. Yes.
So I think it's probably quite hard to regulate.
Yeah.
But we used to, when I was at uni, you'd go out into the smoking area and then there'd be like a NOS guy who'd kind
Yeah,
of
with a
come.
balloon. Yeah.
You'd give him some change.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's just part of British culture, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say like there isn't too many differences from British and Irish culture, but that is one of them. that is up there with one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
That's actually something I was going to ask earlier. This is completely unrelated to laughing gas. When we were talking about how a good patient is patient. Is that why a patient is called a patient? Because maybe they were maybe they were called impatients before.
Yeah.
And then like the Lancet or something, some like medical body was like, how do we manipulate these impatients into being better? Why don't we call them patients instead?
That's a good,
A bit like when you call a dog a good boy,
you're
trying to reinforce that he is a good boy.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why they're called a patient?
Well, if it is, most patients haven't caught on to that.
No.
Because most patients aren't patients. Yeah, I'm getting lost now with my words, but yeah. But then, because then you have inpatient when you're in hospital, and then what I see is
I see as outpatient.
Right, so it's all the cat's out of the bag now.
Cameron, do you know?
Can't say I do.
I would love to know why it's called a patient.
Yeah. I like the way we're talking to Cameron, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, what is it, Jamie on Joe Rogan?
Yeah, exactly. Look that up.
Look
it up, Cameron.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I'm just wondering if that is why they've called them patients, to try and manipulate behaviour, what I should really be calling members.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you like to call members if it wasn't members? Peasants?
No. They're lovely people. I'm just trying to think.
Your followers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Got
really
a
need.
definition of why. Because it originates from the Latin word patiens, meaning one who suffers.
Wow. Okay, so that's what being patient is: enduring suffering.
Interesting. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's Latin makes sense. It all comes from Latin, really.
Can you speak Irish?
When I say a small bit, I mean a tiny bit. There are some areas in Ireland where it's still quite common to speak it, but I'd say for 85% of the country, English is everyone's first language. It's taught in schools, but everyone hates it.
Really? Yeah.
Everyone hates it. And I was a terrible student in school, so no, my Irish skills are very little.
Yeah. I think same with Welsh, where it's taught in school. My grandma used to speak some Welsh to me. She used to also try and teach me maths.
Okay, true Welsh.
No, she would do the maths in English. I mean, neither of them sunk in very far.
So you are Welsh?
My grandma was Welsh. I'm a quarter Welsh.
I see.
I'm kind of quarter Welsh, quarter Irish, a little bit Scottish. So I'm more like Celtic than I am English. I would identify as a Celtic man.
I see.
Rather than necessarily an Englishman.
Okay.
But I've always lived in England. So.
Yeah, in London?
And my dad lived in London from when I was around 13, 14. And then my mum lived between Reading and Oxford. So kind of a little mix.
Yeah, not too far out though.
No.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing up that my parents split up. By the way.
It's fine. Nice. I am a therapist of some sort, so, could be related to the elbow.
Do you ever get people oversharing with you on the table?
To be honest, once the door closes, you could say I'm in charge of the room, but I don't feel I am.
Mm-hmm.
The patient is free to say what they like.
Yeah.
And I usually ask people, tell me what's on your mind.
Oh, dangerous.
So, they unload. Very frequently, patients will tell you everything that's going on in their life, you know. But I don't mind it, to be honest. Cause
good goss.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to, when I was a PT doing one-to-one, like that's the thing that keeps you going.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on in your life?
Yeah.
Something terrible has happened. Delicious. Tell me more.
Cheating on who?
Yeah. So good. I do miss that. You don't get it so much in a group setting because obviously people don't want to talk about their gossip.
Yeah. My mother was a hairdresser. She just recently retired.
Did she cut your hair?
She used to. She used to, obviously. But she says, whenever I start touching a woman's hair, they just start unloading. Like, the stories she would have were, ladies would just come in and tell her everything about, what their husband's been doing, what they've been doing, what the state of their family is like. That must be the key to it. I think it's got to do with relaxing the person by touching their scalp and stuff.
I think it's also having conversation when you're not sitting directly opposite someone.
Yes.
They say it's much easier to communicate if you're side by side or if you're doing an activity.
Yes.
So people start, like, a very good first date now, they
Yeah.
say these days, is to go for a coffee walk with someone.
Yes.
Because you're not staring at each other, it's very easy to speak.
Yeah.
Same with why it's very easy to speak to people while you're driving in a car, I find.
Yeah.
So usually if I need to really offload on Lucy,
Yeah.
so if we're driving
In London
and then
traffic.
on the motorway it's good because then you're
Yeah.
really moving and then you
Yes,
can be
yeah.
like, oh, this happened.
Yeah. That's a good point. I don't know why that is.
Less pressure, I think.
Less pressure, yeah. I recently went to a museum. It was like contemporary art or something like that, and it was where you would take part in the art. So there was 2 chairs you would sit on, and you would look directly across from someone. And the lady, the artist, who I can't remember her name, she would sit in this chair for like 6 hours, and different people she knew would come and sit in front of her, and there was no speaking, just direct eye contact.
No.
Very intense.
A bit like life drawing, but
yeah.
that's mental that people. I completely understand if you're an artist, you might want to paint the naked human form. I find it so strange that there are people volunteering their spare time to go and sit naked for people to paint them.
Yeah.
It's really full on.
I wonder when it started.
I wonder if those people
It's a
eat
long time.
cereal.
Yeah.
You know? What else are you doing?
But it wasn't just, extremely attractive bodies. It was all shapes and sizes,
All sorts.
which who's to say, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But at the same time, all sorts of people would lie down for painters.
Maybe we should do that in the physio room. Have we got space?
We could maybe give it a month to just get some patients in.
There's been talk of doing some Botox.
Botox injections.
Yeah, Botox.
I can't stand this. Because, for example, right, for someone like a physio who can do training to become an injection therapist.
Oh.
For kind of like corticosteroid injections.
Oh.
Right?
I'd probably pay for you to do that.
Right? Stuff like that. But I've heard you can get, like, if you're in the beauty industry, you can do a weekend course to become a Botox injector. Like, surely, that's very easily, you can very easily do that wrong. If the needle goes too far in, you inject too much Botox.
Yeah. Well, I think you should look into it. I've had a steroid injection in this elbow before. I would definitely love to have more of that. That'd
Did
be
you find it was
fantastic.
good?
It was good. I had one in the elbow, one in the wrist. This wrist also isn't very good. Just,
interesting.
Like, ignoring
that's the same
that,
side.
that
right?
whole arm is just
And
completely
you're right-handed.
useless. Yeah.
You must probably go under the clean.
What it was is, I can't say this thing. Maybe you can say it. De Quervain veins.
Yeah.
So
De Quervain
when
syndrome.
I first got Nino, my son, the dog, before he had his injections, I carried him to the gym like this on my forearm multiple times a day because he couldn't go on the ground or anything.
Okay.
And it gave me De Quervain veins and just jacked up that whole wrist, elbow. I think that was the beginning of all the issues. But yeah, that wrist, elbow just started to go to shit around that time. And then with that, all that pause stuff I did in that training cycle. But he's worth
You're
it.
no longer with that coach.
No,
Yeah.
I'm coachless now.
Yeah. Do you have a coach at the moment?
No.
You just do your own stuff?
Yeah, because I can't really train, I would say. I just kind
Because
of
of the-
exercise. I just do what I can.
Yeah, I saw you doing a bit of cardio the other day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been doing like running, leg stuff. I can now back squat on a straight bar. I hadn't been able to for a really long time. I've got myself
That
this
position.
weird bar.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like a really big cambered
Like
bar.
a safety bar, is it?
I was doing it was cambered.
Okay.
I'll show you, and it's huge. It's a 50 kilo bar.
Jesus.
But it has handles that go down, so you could hold it down here rather than being up there.
Nice.
You can lift a lot more than on a safety bar.
Yeah.
But you can't bail. That's the only thing. So I maxed out on it once. I hit 200 kilos on it, and I was like, that's enough.
Yeah.
Because you literally...
So where does the bar go if you...
It goes on your back,
Yeah.
but then you're holding it down.
Right. And let's say you get into the hole and you can't get out.
No, yeah, you're dead.
So you have to be able to get it up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's amazing though if you know what you're squatting has to come back up. The failure's not an option. You know.
But it just, it makes for quite
Yeah.
tense training.
Maybe not the foundation course.
No.
No, we wouldn't want to put.
Yeah, you'd have to have a spotter at each end, powerlifting style.
Yeah.
But very difficult.
Yeah, the art of spotting. That's it goes wrong more than it goes right. I feel that kind of side by side.
Yeah. I don't. Whenever I see people spotting like that, I think just learn to drop it.
Yeah.
I know, like with powerlifting plates on, that's not really what you do, but I feel like
Yes.
just surely that shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the same with powerlifting. You know, when they spot underneath, like
Yes.
over the breasts.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no need for that as well.
Yeah. The cleavage.
Yeah, very strange.
Yeah. Where would you prefer someone to grab you when you're?
Well, I think just grab the bar.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That's
Like
fine.
help the bar.
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's completely fine.
Yeah. You can always tell someone who's spotted before probably quickly or faster than someone who you can say, oh, they've trained before.
Mm.
Someone has a lack of spotting experience.
Yeah.
You know instantly.
It is useful to know how to spot very
Yes, definitely.
well. Right, last question.
Yes.
Big one.
Okay.
Favorite fizzy drink?
Ooh.
I saw you on a Lucozade before.
A Lucozade Orange is up there.
I saw you getting a Lucozade Orange and pouring it into a protein shaker to make it look like you were having some type of healthy juice.
Not much gets past you, does it? I didn't want folks at home who are obviously watching to think that physio drinks fizzy drinks. I thought
He's been smoking crack as well.
Yeah. And doing NOS
Yeah.
before. So trying to get used to the culture over here. Yeah, so Dr. Pepper.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, Dr. Pepper, the 0 one. I do like a zero
Yeah.
drink. I think some people say physio drinks are terrible for you. The 0 ones, if they're had in moderation, are not terrible for you.
The moderation aspect is difficult. I can really pipe through Pepsi Maxes.
Okay, yeah.
Me and the wife will be like thinking about trying to produce a child soon, I think, and we're trying, obviously want to conceive like an absolute physical peak.
Right.
So
For the child's sake.
yeah,
Yeah,
because I think like
superhuman.
you want to be super in shape, healthy.
Yeah.
So when like
Yeah.
the sperm that you're producing at that
Age
time or
brackets
whatever
are
is
super
like
important, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
you want it to be peak. So we're thinking maybe cut down on the fizzy drinks.
Yeah,
and that
I
kind of
wonder
thing.
if there is a correlation.
Maybe I should do
between-
Tren.
Peps. You're gonna bring in Tren instead of Pepsi.
Yeah, and you've mentioned you can inject.
Right. I think we're gonna end it there.
So just to be clear, that's not advice you would give.
No, I wouldn't. I would stick with Pepsi.
Okay.
I would stick with Pepsi. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, but yeah.
Okay.
Interesting that you bring up Tren.
That's a conversation for another day.
Yeah. Good. Next
We'll
episode.
cover that on the next episode when we just
Yes.
do an injectables only episode.
Yes. What can we inject this week?
Exactly. Yeah, I'll be a guinea pig. Okay, thank you very much,
Brilliant.
Dan.
Thank
That
you,
wraps
guys.
up episode 3 of the London Weightlifting podcast.